What's going on? It is Jason. You can hear me now because I have audio and I think I fixed my problem. Woo woo. Adiga Kupak. Yeah. All right. I had to redo my live. I was on last week. Somebody pointed out that I was having some audio issues that was cutting in and out, in and out, in and out. And I didn't quite test it until I was already live and noticed exactly. Yes, woohoo, we're back, Sean. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me just say hello, everybody. Welcome. And so glad to see you. Drop a line. Yeah. All right. Sean, how you doing, man? Sorry about the whole technical difficulties, but I think we're good to go now. So, yeah. Yeah, that was so frustrating. It's like you do all these things consistently. I don't know why this thing always goes off every single time. Alright. The last thing that's gonna distract me from doing this live. So my son has an iPad over here and it never goes off, ever. It just never does. But for whatever reason, as soon as I go live, it sits there and goes beep, beep, beep. And it is asking or waiting for me to talk to it, I guess. It is so weird. I don't know. I don't know what to call that. I don't know if we have a ghost in the house. Do you guys believe in ghosts? I don't know if we have ghosts in here. I think the person we bought the house from said that they heard noises throughout the house periodically, like in the bedroom, and they would hear like an old-timey radio, like in the attic area. And I don't know if it's because I heard them say that and they told us that, then I started like kind of hearing that noise up there, which was weird, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I necessarily believe in ghosts. I don't have an opinion about it. I don't know. It's weird. I'm going to turn the ice maker off because that's loud. Is there one more thing that I'm forgetting? Is there one more thing I'm forgetting to do? Oh, all right. We're back. Jeez. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't necessarily think I believe in ghosts. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. So, it's an alien. Yeah, man. I tell you, aliens I do believe in. That's the one thing I do believe in is aliens. And I kind of have this weird theory on other dimensions. That's another tangent I could say. Talking about we have multiple dimensions in our world, things that we can't see or explain. I don't know. It's interesting, but ghosts, I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but how's everybody been doing? This past week was pretty good. Busy at work, normal grind, filming, editing, editing. A lot of editing. Had a couple big projects that we had to get done. And then we had this really cool project that we did on Tuesday at this place here in Tempe, Arizona called South Pier. They're building these high luxury, high-rise condominium townhousey things in this area at South Pier in Tempe. And we were there filming for a client and getting some B-roll shots, a walk and talk style type interview. And this leads me into dealing with tough clients. Like, you know, our client process when we go to work with clients, like we have a client filter because, you know, not every client is going to have your best interest at heart, and not every client's going to be very fun to work with, and it doesn't necessarily have to be fun. Like, we get that. We always try to go to the next level of professionalism, respect, those types of things for our clients. We have, the ability to, I guess, take our time with making sure that the client relationship fits well with us, but sometimes we don't always have that opportunity to where we can, vet the client per se. And sometimes these clients come and they're a little challenging to work with. And I don't want to bash any clients. I don't want to bash anybody. Honestly, we're all human beings spinning around on this rock, going around the sun. And we all have our own trials and tribulations, and communication stems from a lot of those, I guess, expectations. Somebody told me a long time ago, when I put my expectations, Jason's expectations, on other people and other things, be prepared to get let down. So I kind of take that into consideration when I'm dealing with things. I try not to put my expectations in things because I don't want to get set up for disappointment. So sometimes I just let things be as they are and they unfold as they do. But yeah, the client, it was a challenging shoot with the client. And there were some things that were, said, and it just was frustrating. And we don't want that reputation for Small Giants. We want to be, respectful and professional, and we hold high regards for our clients, and we do the best possible work for them. But sometimes people can have a bad day and perceive one thing, and it can be totally taken out of context and things like that. That's where communication tends to be important. Communicating the goal, communicating what is needed, and making sure that you circle back to that communication, and we were able to do exactly what it was that you needed from us. But yeah, and unfortunately, this client was a little challenging, but I know that we got what we communicated because we did have a meeting and we knew the expectations. So I know that we got some really killer shots. I know we got some really good content. I know we filmed our butts off. We were there at like 5:30 in the morning, ready to rock. And some mistakes did happen on our part, and we're human beings. We're not robotic. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna have things that we overlook, and that's why we do a good job at making sure that we check each other before we go into these shoots, and we're like, we're good, yeah. Especially when it comes to gear. Unfortunately, there was a miscommunication on who was grabbing the drone, and so we needed some drone shots, and we forgot the drone back at the office, and it's like a 10-minute drive from the location we're at, and so we had to wait a few minutes to get the drone. We had somebody come and bring it to us, and those things happen. You're gonna have mistakes that happen, just like earlier, I had technical issues, and those types of things are gonna happen. But the client did mention that they felt like there was some issues with us being professional, and some things like that were said. And I'm not 100%. I wasn't part of those conversations, so I don't want to speak out of place. But I don't know. The thing is, when one person is disorganized or in a chaos state of mind or has this expectation, but it wasn't clearly communicated the way that it was needed to us, then they're feeling all the feels of, the pressure. Are they getting what they needed? They're feeling like, is this the right approach to do these things? So they're having that conversation with themselves. I can only assume. And then so it's easy to be like, well, let's point the fingers in the other direction instead of like taking a minute and just look at, internally what is affecting us. And, and I can admit, I'm not running at 100% all the time. I'm going to have my days where I'm not feeling it. I'm going to have, Robbie was a producer. He's going to have his days where he's not feeling it. And that just is what happens. But our intentions are well, placed. We care about the people that we work with. We want to do an excellent job. We take pride in our work, and we show up to get the job done. And unfortunately, some people have different expectations on what that looks like. And there's some disappointment there, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so that was a little frustrating. I sat with that all week because the shoot was on Tuesday, and it was like, man, this is a bummer. Some things were said, and unfortunately, the client was, I don't know if they were disappointed, but they hadn't seen any of the footage or looked at anything yet. And it's like, I don't know, but I just don't, you have us, Small Giants, as a creative agency. We're a bunch of creative mofos, man. We live off creativity. We feed creativity. We just aspire to be creative. And we get, a lot of leeway in that regards. And we know we've been doing this for a long time, and we know how to capture what we need to capture and tell those stories. But when somebody comes into that's not part of the process per se, and they don't understand, and they feel a little confused, and then it's like, are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? Those types of things. And so, yeah, there's a lot of feelings involved in that. And so hopefully it all works out. That was a bummer, though, that, they basically complained, and that's a bummer. And I hate to see that happen because, me and my producer, we do a good job. We make sure that the client's well taken care of. We know what we need to get, and we go in and we tackle it with a mission. And we do it, man. We've been doing it for a long time, and we enjoy it, and we love it. We love what we do. But you're going to have those situations where somebody's having an off day, and yeah, I think I went on a tangent there. I apologize. But that is part of what I wanted to talk about, is just dealing with challenging people, challenging clients. You're going to have them. We, as a company, we do a really good job at vetting clients, and we do our best to make sure that we run them through like a client filter. And if these are the people that we want to work with. Like, nobody wants to work with somebody they don't want to work with. That's going to be a constant pain in the butt. Nobody wants to deal with that. So and it's not us, me per se, but it's our team of experts that go in there, run the filter, and make sure that these types, of clients don't sneak in to where it's like causing us a bunch of headaches and frustrations. But I do my best to try to work with anybody. I understand the human being side of everybody. You're going to have challenging individuals. You're going to have people that hold a different level of expectation. You're going to have people that are not very pleasant to talk to, or that are very assertive, or things of that nature. You're just going to have those types of things happen over time. And I've dealt with all kinds of personalities, and I've worked with all kinds of individuals. I just have. It's been crazy. My first supervisor was a female supervisor. She was amazing. Learned so much from her. She was awesome. In front of a customer, we were there. She's like, Jason, did you mess up on that again? She was literally like yelling at me like she's my mom. I was like, yeah, I messed up. Sorry. And she's like, if you do that again, I'm going to chop your balls off. That's what she said to me. And I'm like, oh my God. And the guy looks up at me. He goes, yeah, man, don't mess up again. I was like, all right. So yeah, you're going to have those, all kinds of people are interesting beings, and I just find it fascinating. But I like working with everybody, even the difficult clients at times are fun to work with because they help grow you. You know, it's that whole like, you know, being adverse in your skill sets. One of those things is you got to go through the challenges to get molded into the person that you want to be down the road. If you just had everything smooth sailing all the time, you're not going to get groomed for everything. You're not going to get, I don't know if I like the word groomed, but you're not going to get molded and chiseled away at and develop those skill sets that you need to handle certain things, especially when rough times come. So it's in the fire, you know, iron sharpens iron. It's in the fire that you can be molded and you grow from those experiences. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say. So yeah, man, it was not that was back in my military days. So let me preface that my first supervisor back when I was in the military, I wasn't in a creative field during that time. I was actually a logistics guy, and we were helping a customer out, and that's what she said to me. So yeah. Oh man, what's up, John? I didn't even know that was you. I thought that was Sean still. John, what's up, man? Welcome to the live. So glad to see you, dude. Now I know why you said alien. Oh man, it's so good to see you, dude. I appreciate you hopping into the channel. Had some technical difficulties earlier, but I think we got them fixed. And here's what happened, just so I like to share the wealth. So I have a shotgun mic. Shotgun mics can run off battery, or they can run off phantom power. And my Zoom, you can isolate phantom power to the channels. And I had phantom power off on my Zoom, but yet I still had a battery in, so I was getting power from the mic, but the battery was dying. So, which in sense, it's still a phantom powered mic, whether it has a battery or not, but so I turned the battery off and turned phantom power on my Zoom, and it seems to be a stable connection now. So just to share exactly what happened and why I was losing power from the mic. I was a little frustrated. I didn't know what was going on. I was getting irritated, and then my iPad was being possessed by aliens going off. So I am using a Zoom 6. Yep, I'm on a Zoom 6, and yeah, I mean, my audio might be a little hot. Let me turn that down. I don't know. How's it sounding? Yeah, I'm using a Zoom 6. It's the H6. I just got this thing not too long ago. I've been using the Zoom H4 for years. That thing was a tank. I beat the hell out of that thing, and I had that thing forever, and finally it crapped out on me on a client shoot, and I was like, that's a bummer. So I went and got an H6. But yeah, I am still doing this thing, so that's what I just put in my mouth, is one of these Zen pouches, and still rocking the Zens. I'm not proud of it, people, but I do like the winter green. The winter green is by far the best. I've tried 5 or 6 different flavorings of these things, and the winter green is the one that I have gravitated to. All right, so here we are. What else do I want to talk about? Low T. It's a good transition in talking about low testosterone. So I was at my recovery meeting on Thursday, and there's a buddy of mine there. I think he's 38, 39. I think he's in his late 30s, and I'm late 40s. Like, I'm about to hit 50 next month. So for the last, I'd say almost a year now, I have had low energy. It takes me like at least a solid hour to get up and move when I wake up in the mornings. I've been lethargic, and I don't know if this is like my valley fever kicking in, and I don't know if it's a combination of me working out and running, because I've really been putting the grind on my running too, so that's been a lot of work, and then I haven't been sleeping the best. I think I average anywhere from 4 to 5 hours of sleep is my average. So I think all this is in combinations, but the feeling of what I'm feeling when I wake up in the morning is like I just can't get my cylinders firing. I think, and forgive me if this is TMI, but my sex drive is not where it used to be. So there's that as well. And, I'm thinking like, what is going on with me? Well, anyway, so this has all been happening to me for almost a year now, and how I've been feeling, and it's just been rough. And so I was at my meeting, and I didn't know anything about low testosterone. Did not. I don't know if I'm naive or I just don't think about it or pay attention to it. But I'm at this recovery meeting, and this guy comes up. He starts talking to me. He's like, "Man, I got low T." And I'm like, I don't know what you mean by that. And I felt stupid because I didn't know what he meant, because I guess it's a popular thing. But he's like, "Yeah, I got low T," and I went and got tested. The numbers came back that he's 38 and he has the testosterone of a 90-year-old man. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't know what that entails, but he started explaining some of the things that he was feeling and how he was and all this stuff. And it was like in line with exactly what I'm feeling. And I'm like, holy cow, maybe this is what it is. Because I chopped it up as I'm just tired. I'm getting older. I have valley fever. Like all these things. And I had no idea that it could be my testosterone levels are probably low. So I am going to get tested, and I will keep you guys posted if you're curious on whether or not this is a thing. But I'm just curious. It's more of curiosity than anything, and we'll see. Now, I know he's got to take some stuff like TRT or something, he said, and then he's got to implement some things in his sleep and his diet and a couple other pathways to get him to a place where he doesn't need to take supplements anymore. But since he's already past the threshold of being a 90-year-old man at 38, he's got to boost himself up there and get back on track. So, yeah. I'm hoping that, I don't know what it's going to entail, but I'm going to go get tested and see if maybe I might have low T, and I'm curious. That's all it is. I'm just curious to see if it's a thing and ways to combat it if I do have low testosterone. So yeah, man, it could be. I mean, especially since I'm almost going to be 50 years old, it kind of makes sense that my testosterone is not what it used to be. So crazy. I mean, yeah, hopefully we'll get some answers, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Here's the thing. I have a problem going to my doctor. I don't know if anybody else struggles with this. And it's not so much I'm too prideful to go and get myself checked out. It's just I hate paying copays. It's a racket to me. And I get so wrapped up into our healthcare system and all that whole nonsense. And and I'm not trying to knock healthcare services workers. You guys are some of the hardest workers in the biz. You guys don't get paid enough for all the things that you guys do. So it's not that. It's just the copay process just seems weird. It's like I'm paying a mafia guy or something. It's like I gotta pay this dude to pay this dude to pay this dude to get exactly what I need checked out, which just seems so odd to me. And it just frustrated me after my last, and every single time I go to my primary care provider, he hits me with the late fee. I'm like, what the? I'm like, why am I getting a late fee? I haven't even been here, and I guarantee you, I go to the doctor to get checked out, I'm gonna have a late fee that I owe. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it's like $75 or something every time I go and see the doctor. It's crazy. And it's just, it's so frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, Sean, man, let's see. Oh, you have to continue taking TRT? I don't know if he knows that. That's good to know, man. Thank you for sharing that, dude. I mean, I take vitamins every day, so if it's something that I gotta do, I don't know if I have it, so I don't want to assume that, because I'm not a doctor and I'm just going off what the symptoms he was struggling with are exactly the same thing that I'm struggling with. But I don't know if he knows that he has to stay on it. That's crazy. Man, I exercise my butt off. And that's what I told my wife. I was like, I don't know. Like, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like my sex drive's not there. Like all these things are just like not adding up to me. Like no desires, no just weird stuff like that has just been bonkers to me. And I was very like, I had no problems. Having a desire and a want and a need and all that stuff, but it's just like, I don't, and I was talking to my wife about, and this might be all too much information, but I was like talking to my wife about it, and I'm like, it was Valentine's Day, yesterday, the made-up, man-made holiday of consumerism, as you call it. I don't know, but, it's one of those things, is like, if I do have this thing, like something's going on, because I don't feel like the normal Jason a year ago. Like, so obviously something's happened. Like it just is weird that I'm just waking up after like, I'll have days where I'm getting like 7-8 hours of sleep and I'm still waking up. No matter how many hours of sleep I get, I wake up, can't get things moving. I have I feel weaker than most. Like I'm struggling to open up jars. That's a prideful man thing, to be able to pop open those jars for the ladies and be. And I'm like, can't get, having a hard time carrying stuff. It's like my arms hurt when I'm carrying a C-stand or something. I'm just like, what is going on? And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know if I have it. I don't want to assume that I have it, but I'm going to go get tested and we'll figure it out. And if I have to take it for the rest of my life, so be it. If it's going to help me snap out of this, whatever it is that I'm going through, I will do it. Maybe I'll do research. I shouldn't just jump into something without actually doing a little research and understand what TRT is. Is it like synthetic testosterone or something? Is it like steroids? I don't even know what it is, but I'll have to do some research. I do track my sleep, man. Let me show you. So this weekend I did really good on my sleep. Let's take a look here. Well, yesterday I didn't do so good. Yesterday I had a low sleep score. I only got 6 hours of sleep yesterday, and I said my sleep score was 80%. The problem is, now that I've been working out for the last 2 months now, I've been incorporating long distance runs, strength training, things of that nature. That deep sleep cycle is, I guess, where a lot of the repair of your muscles, your brain functions, things of that nature happen, from what I've read. And I get poo-poo deep sleep. I get like 40 to 20 minutes of deep sleep in my sleep cycle. Most of it's core sleep cycle. And then if I'm in asleep for like 6 hours, like last night, let's see, I was 6 hours and, I was 6 hours and 11 minutes, but when you go to the data, I was awake for like 55 minutes of that. So, and then I get an hour of REM sleep, 4 hours of core sleep, and I get 20 minutes of deep sleep. So that's typically average for me is 6 hours. But the other night I got 9 hours, like Valentine's night. I got 9 hours of sleep, and you see that big chunk of red there, and I got lots of reds there. I was awake for another hour that night, so I technically only got 8 hours of sleep, 2 hours of REM sleep, 5 hours of core sleep, and only 25 minutes of deep sleep. So yeah. Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep you posted, Joe. I'm gonna keep you posted on my testosterone journey that I'm on, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, same thing with these miles I've been putting in too. It's like they haven't been getting easier. And I'm not like grinding them out or anything. They're kind of like I'm kind of building my running back to what I used to be. Not that I'll ever get to where I used to be. I used to be very competitive and a solid runner. Still a solid runner, I guess, average runner now, but definitely not what I used to be. We're just building that foundation right now. So my coach has me doing these, heart rate training type runs to get me, situated to build a foundation to build upon. I did intervals last week, so I had to do 10 1-minute intervals at almost 85% output. Like, I don't know about you guys, but why does a minute seem so long when you're pushing so hard? And I did 10 of those bad boys. So I did 10 1-minute intervals, and then a 1-minute recovery, then another minute. I do 10 of them, man. And I was like, dang, yeah. Dude, Sean, I guess, they say like people who are like athletes and creatives, they need a solid 8 to 9 hours of sleep. That is what the rumor is. I don't know who they are. That's just what I heard. I'm not certain on where that came from. I don't even remember where I read it. But it said creative people that use their brains a lot in creativity, and athletes who train hard, solid need. And it's not about how long you sleep, it's how much good sleep that you get during your sleep cycles, I guess. Where me training as hard as I am, I need a better deep score. So I got to like look at some ways that I can get into that deep sleep a little bit more. For those that don't know, we have small children. I have a 5-year-old that has been sleeping with us since he's been 1. So there could be, I got donkey kicked the other night. I don't care. Freaking my 5-year-old is a tosser and turner, so I'm sure that has something to do with it, and I'm sure that is affecting my sleep because he's a snorer. He snores at 5 years old, and he goes wild in his sleep. He's kicking all around. I got donkey kicked in the face multiple times, and I don't know. I don't care who you are. Like, I was ready to fight my 5-year-old when I got donkey kicked right in the face. It like woke me up. I was like ready to start fighting, realizing like, where am I? Why am I getting punched in the face? And then realized it was my 5-year-old. But he hit me in the calf last night, the night before. The night before, he kicked me so hard in my calf that it like triggered one of those spasms that you get, like if you are low on potassium and stuff, you get those spasms in your leg. That's what happened. He kicked me so hard in my calf, it hurt. It was sore the next day, and I had to run an hour. It was like, oh my God. But yeah, man, I definitely want to work on my quality of sleep. So that's the new mission. Quality of sleep, getting my testosterone checked out, things of that nature. Man, I kind of went on a tangent today. Sorry about that. So, Yeah, a cramp. Exactly. My leg cramped up, had a legs cramp, and those hurt, man. I usually get them in my feet really bad. That's how I know I'm low on potassium, is when I start cramping a lot or dehydrated, I'll drink. But I drink a lot of water. Here lately, I've been drinking a lot of water to try to avoid those cramps and eating a bunch of bananas and getting some potassium and stuff. So, ooh, do a PSA test for your prostate. I'll do that too, man. Sign me up. I'll go get all the things tested. It seems like every time I go to the doctor, man, they want to stick something in my butt, man. It's so frustrating too. That's the other thing I don't like. Every single time he's like, let's check some stuff out. And he puts on a glove and I'm like, what do you need to check out? And why is this happening? I'm at the dentist's office. But no, I'm just messing around. It just seems like that's always the case. I thought there was something legitimately, it happened a lot. And my wife's best friend is a nurse practitioner, and she worked at the hospital that I was going to at the time. And I was like, honestly, you can be honest with me. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to say anything, but is there anything that says in my chart that you have to check something in my butt every single time that I come in here? Because it seems like that happens every single time that I come in to see the doctor. So, but I mean, I don't know. And she just started laughing. So that's kind of an inside joke between her and I now. I thought that was something they put in my chart. Like, this is so frustrating. But because they can check, your prostate and your colon and all that stuff through you can like get a little test kit of your own and do it where you don't have to have any of those weird finger poking things done to you. But we'll see, man. I don't know. Unless you get one of those crusty old docs that just want to go and check you out. But I don't know. It's yeah. Yeah, dude. I've had a couple colonoscopies. I've had some. So I had this thing. So I get things checked out on a regular basis, because I had to have an emergency appendix removal because my appendix almost burst when I was in Spokane, Washington. And I went to this hospital, Sacred Heart. They did a phenomenal job. But in the interim, what they also found out was I had a twisted intestine. And so they had to go in and like fix that, which they said, they asked specifically, are you a runner? And I said, yeah. And I guess it's a prominent thing that happens with certain runners where they're running a lot, like their intestines twist up somehow. And I guess it happens with dogs a lot. So, so I make sure if I have any like weird things happening to me, because I'm pretty in tune with my body, and I'm like, can know when stuff is off. And if something's off, I'll just go get checked out. But yeah, so I've had some colonoscopies before, and those aren't fun, man. So, yeah. So they're testing my resolve. That's how you grow as a man. We're gonna test your resolve. That's how they're gonna crack me up. Bend over, let's get this done. We're gonna see what type of man you are. That's funny. Hey man, I mean, it's pretty crazy how, naive or assuming that I can be when a doctor tells me something, where my wife is completely opposite. She's like, no, we're not doing that, this. We're going to we'll do our own independent research before we say we're getting these immunizations, these things, whatever. She's very thorough in making sure that we are, whatever it is they're trying to give us or do to us, she checks her resources first. And she has doctor friends, so she has that ability. I don't. So I just go in there with complete optimism and trust whatever it is that they are telling me that needs to get done. I just say, okay, I have to do this. Okay, let's go. Let's get this done. And yeah, I don't know if that's always in my best interest though, but maybe I should be a little bit more thorough at checking, because doctors don't always get things right. They're just as human as the next, the rest of us. And sometimes they make, it's research to them. I had a doctor say that when I had valley fever and they just didn't know what was wrong with me because I had fluid in my lungs. And there was like a spot in my lungs where it was collecting fluid. And at first they didn't know what was going on, like, because my levels were good. Like, I wasn't like having like high white blood cell count or whatever it is if you have like a sickness or something, which I did. But my doctor was excited. He's like, this is like the stuff I love to investigate. I'm like, okay, buddy. Let's figure this out. And he was very thorough and checking all the boxes and making sure. And then he had me tested for valley fever, and he assumed that it was that, especially because I had like this really bad rash on my legs from valley fever. And he just like, yeah, I'm sure you got valley fever, but I want to investigate your levels and your what do they call it? It's like your titers, your like titer levels. And I'm speaking stuff I don't know nothing about, but there's like these levels in your blood that they're able to tell right away that you have valley fever. But so, yeah, I'm just a walking, like I'm a walking thing. I have things happen to me all the time that are weird, but yeah. Yeah, man, that's exactly what he said, man. This is the stuff I like to investigate. I like to break these codes and get in there and nerd out on medical stuff. And you kind of want a doctor that's like that. Like, he's just not going to say, oh, take a couple of Motrin and call me in the morning type thing. He's going to really dive into some research and figure stuff out, because just like I told him, man, I was like, I'm in tune with my body. Like, I know when I'm not right. And so can we figure this out? And he was all about it. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. He was a good doc. He's a good doctor to have. I still have him. So I just hate paying the copay. That's just one of the things that I just don't understand. Like, I had to pay 3 different people, but I had to go see him first. Like, it's like the King Don and the mafia hierarchy, that you got to go see the main boss first, pay your dues, and then you like you pay him, and then you go on to the next guy, and then he takes his cut, and then you go on to the next guy, and then he takes his cut. And it's just like, oh man, this is ridiculous. But that's for another video. All right, what were we even talking about, man? I'm just like on a tangent tonight. Sorry about that. Just talking about all kinds of weird stuff. Let's get in some analytics. And this is what Sundays are for me to hang out with you guys, the community of subscribers and new people. This is what I like to do, share things that are happening to me. I'm very open book, very transparent, like I was talking about my sex drive. So it's and doctors sticking things in my butt. So I'm very transparent, very transparent here. I don't have anything to hide. I mean, I like to keep things out in the open and be, super authentic of who I am. And so you guys don't feel like I'm subscribing to a fake kind of guy, but that's not me. So, but I do like to go and dive into the back end of my YouTube and go over the analytics just to see how the channel is performing. And so we'll walk through that now. I have not checked my analytics, so we're going to be walking through this together right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm not going to be able to see the chat, so I don't know if you guys are dropping stuff in the chat. I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see it because I don't know how to do that fancy stuff. People can do all the fancy things and see their chat and still talk. And so I keep it pretty simple. I have my talking head cam here. I have a switcher that has my MacBook, which is, well, yeah, just so you guys know, this is my MacBook. And then I'll do picture in picture, put it at the bottom. And let's go ahead and get into it. And what I do is take this week and I compare it to the previous week, just so you guys can see how the channel's progressing. And as long as I'm creating videos, as long as I'm going live, I'm gonna share this information with you, no matter how big or small the channel gets. So let's open up YouTubers. We'll pop this bad boy open. Bum, bum, bum. I've been watching a lot of climbing videos lately. I love like mountaineers. This dude has been popping up a lot. Paul, he's like he runs Jungle Keepers. I watched the Diary of a CEO with his interview, and it was phenomenal. This dude is amazing what he's doing for the Amazon rainforest. But yeah, that's a side tangent. Let's get back on track. See, I see something and then I like, let's go here. Let's go to YouTube Studio. Boop, 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 boop. I just want to make sure. Let me just make sure that it's on. All right. Sorry for the inception. Just wanted to make sure we were good. All right. Now we're going to analytics. Bam. All right. All right. So this is what the channel's done in the last 28 days. I've gotten 18,000, almost 19,000 views, 140 watch hours, and 15 new subscribers. So for all those that are the 15 of you this past month, thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey. I greatly appreciate you. And for all the people that have been coming along with this journey, I greatly appreciate you too. You know, some of you are in the chat, you know, John, Sean, Joe Schmo, you guys, Joe Schmo's been rocking with me since like day one. That dude, he's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the analytics. Now, I like to customize this so I can break it down by weeks. So I go customize, and then I pick yesterday, and this is this past week, and I hit apply. All right, so this is what the channel's done in this past week. 6,000 views for me is a lot. So normally I'm the 2,000 to 3,000 average for a week. So 6,000 is quite a bit. 46 watch hours is quite a bit too. 3 subscribers is about average. I usually get about 2 to 3 subscribers a week. Some weeks the channel's doing really well with subscribers and I get a bunch, and it varies. So, but 3, that's freaking awesome. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now what I like to do is do a comparison. So in order for me to do that, I have to go to this advanced mode up here. And then I add a comparison. And then I go period over period. And what it's going to do is take the previous week before this last week, and then we're able to like compare. So I hit add. So this week is blue. The previous week is purple. So this week I got 6,406 views. The previous week I got 5,132. Yeah. So a little bit of an uptick this week in views, which is awesome. These are all the videos that did that. This video, for whatever reason, still blowing up, man. That's so crazy. But yeah, all these are the videos and views that lead to that number. Now I like to go into the watch time. So 44 the previous week, 46 this week. So a little uptick, not a big uptick, but a little bit. That's awesome. So that's freaking outstanding. Yeah. And again, these are all the watch hours of what everybody's watching to accumulate that number. Now I'll go into subscribers. Yeah, so I got 6 the previous week and I got 3 this week, that's super awesome. I mean, 6 subscribers is a lot for me in a week. So, because these are all small channel vibes. I'm not a big channel. I'm still grinding my way to 1,000 subscribers, and we're getting there. We're slowly getting there, which is freaking awesome. And I appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, this is where we're at. So that's everything I compare. In the comparison is kind of what I call the top 3: views, watch hours, subscribers. And that's what this week looks like. So a little bit uptick on the views and the watch hours, and 3 subscribers is good, but not as much as the previous week where I got 6. So, all right. Now I end comparison, so I'll remove the comparison. Now I like to geek out on a couple other things. I like to go in here and look at geography and see exactly. Holy cow. All right, so this is this is crazy. I've never seen it this big before. Maybe I have. It's been a while, but there's a lot of countries here. All right, so I got United States at the top spot. I got India and Indonesia. Those are usually my top 3. I got Canada, United Kingdom, Turkey, Brazil, Pakistan, Australia, Thailand, Saudi Arabia. Any new ones? We got Vietnam. That's cool. Algeria, France, Philippines, Egypt, Malaysia, Argentina, and Sri Lanka. So cool. All right. I can't even say it now. Sri Lanka. El Salvador. I don't understand why that says 0. Why is it showing up if there's no views there? That's interesting. But yeah, that's cool, man. Worldwide. That is awesome. So cool. Man, yeah. I wonder what the blue stands for. I got to figure this out. I got to do a better job at like understanding the color thing here, maybe. I don't know if any of you guys know, but I don't know why some of these are in blue. But that's super cool. Maybe they're new. I don't know. I've had Germany before, but that's cool. That is super awesome. All right, let's hop into viewer age. Boom, that's a big spectrum. So I got 18 to 24 all the way to 65 plus. That is cool. Sometimes I get 13 to younger, 13-year-olds up, because I have a couple of young dudes that watch my content, which blew me away. That I was surprised that they do, but they do, and that's super cool. But yeah, I got a nice little spectrum here of different ages. This one tends to always be the most. 25 to 34-year-olds are the ones watching my content the most, which is super cool. This is my age bracket, so 45 to 54. And then, yeah, 7%, 65 and older. That's cool. Yeah, that's fun. All right, let's go to gender. Yeah, that's about average. I'm anywhere from 70 to 80% male viewership versus female viewership. And so that's cool. Yeah. I wouldn't know what if my content would, maybe, I don't know. So, all right, let's go. What else do we look at? Oh, device types. Device types, mobile phones. Here we go. We got mobile phones always the top. And then we got computers, TVs, and tablets, which is kind of fun. But operating system, guaranteed it's going to be Android. We'll see. Android it is by a landslide. Man, a lot of Android users are watching my content. And yeah, and then this is what everybody else is watching it on too. Linux, Xbox, Chrome OS, Vidya. I never even heard of that, to be honest with you. I never heard of this either. KIOS. That's cool. So that's interesting. Super fun. You know, there was a time back in the day when I first started doing this, is iOS used to be in the top spot. It hasn't been that way for quite some time now. So thank you to all my Android users that are just killing it with watching the content. Keep it up. I think it's dope. All right. That is pretty much everything. That's everything. Now what I like to look at is what is the top content during this week. So this week, this one, 2,000 views on that video is crazy, man. This thing is just, watching this graph is just like, it's just steadily just climbing. I don't know if it's ever gonna stop. I'm already at 41,000 views on it, which is, and I did this video 2 years ago. When did I drop the video? Does it say? Yeah. Let's see here. I dropped the video November 24th. I think that it was in 2024. That's when I dropped that video. So it's been 2 years, or almost 2 years. So that's crazy. That's cool. Not a big average view duration. It's a 26 seconds. They're out after 26 seconds. I'm out of here. Oh, that's funny. They don't watch it long, but they're watching it. So I've gotten 34 subscribers from that video. It's crazy. And 310 watch hours. That's nuts. But they don't watch it long. It's so funny. Let's go with some others. Let's see. 819,000 impressions. 4% ingestion. Like, I wouldn't know what any of this means. I'm not up on my analytics. Yeah, but that's a lot of impressions, I would think. For me, I would assume, but Google search is the external sites or apps. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, cool. It's kind of neat stuff to look at. Yeah, that's fun. All right, engagement. Let's see. How many dislikes? Let's see how many. Does it say? 9 dislikes. So I got 44 likes and 9 dislikes. I'd say at least one of my, every single video I do, I get at least 1 or 2 dislikes. So there's somebody that just doesn't like my videos. Or maybe they click in because they think it's something it's not, and they're like pissed off because, you know, that you led me astray, my friend. You rambled too much about going to the doctor. That is pissing me off. I'm disliking your stuff. So that could be the case. So, all right, is my computer about to die? Why isn't it charging? Weird. All right. What else? Here we go. Let's get out of there. What's another cool video? What other videos popped up? A couple shorts. Got 1,300 views on this short. Okay, so I'll wait here. I'm gonna go on another tangent, but FX6. This one's an older video too, and it's starting to. If you look at the graph, it's starting to climb up there. I've already gotten 5,000 views on it. That's cool. Yeah. How many dislikes? Let's go into engagement and see. 1. That's not bad. 18 likes, 1 dislike. I'll take those odds. All right. Let's go back. All right. Keep going back. Keep going back. These are older videos. They're getting some views. This one's way old. Wow. Man, I got 2,000 views on that. 16 subscribers from that video. That's crazy. That bigger average duration, man. They whatever I did on there made people stick around a little bit longer. So that's cool. What about the engagement? Let's see. Dislikes. 10. 10 people disliked it. Oh man, I'm mad. I'm not mad. 59 likes though. Yeah, that's funny. All right, I rambled enough. Let's see, anything else interesting? That's so fun. Oh no, what happened? It went dark, it said. Did it end? More taxi, you gone dark. No. More technical difficulties. Man, what the heck? Were you guys still able to hear me? I'm sorry about that. Oh, man, that was so... Where was I? Shoot. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why it went dark. That's weird. Maybe because I didn't have power plugged into my MacBook and it was... Yeah. Oop, picture's still on. Dang it. Yeah, that was so frustrating. All right, another tangent. This one will be real quick. Sorry it went dark. You guys couldn't even see what videos I was looking at, but so frustrating. So the last tangent is this. So I did a video about getting assaulted from running in the bike lane, and I just have to preface this. I know etiquettely, is that how you say that? No. I know protocol is if you're running in a bike lane, the bikers have the lane. It's their lane. I get it. I'm not one who loves to run on sidewalks. I just don't do it. Do I do my best to try to stay out of cyclists' way? I do. I will run in the street if I have enough time to get over so they can have the whole lane to themselves. Or I will hop onto a sidewalk. But in this case, there was a bunch of cactuses and shrubs. I wasn't able to get to the sidewalk, so I was running on next to the curb. And the guy hit me, and whatever the case may be. And it is what it is. And I get that I may have been in the wrong because I'm in the bike lane. My expectations is not that I expect the bikers to get out of my way or whatever the case may be. I do my best to get out of their way. And normally, there's a lot of cyclists. They don't all fit in that lane. There'll be cyclists that are like 20 deep coming down the road. So I don't have the ability to get in the road because they're in the road too. So it's just this weird thing. And I've always bounced back and forth between running the bike lane, getting in the road. Some cyclists get annoyed that I'm in the road and not in the bike lane. I don't know. It's just always a thing. I don't mean to be divided. Like I'm not trying to cause division between runners, cyclists, walkers, whatever the case may be. Not my intention. I don't mean any disrespect to cyclists. I used to be a cyclist. I used to have a road bike. I trained for triathlons. I get it. I've had my fair share of issues as a cyclist with cars and runners and walkers and things of that nature. So I understand, especially when you're training hard and you don't want to have the annoyance of getting out of the way of other things. It's the main reason why I run in the bike lane, because if I try to run on the sidewalk, there's roads, like every driveways, roads every so often, and you like dip down, and then you got people walking their golden doodles and baby strollers. You're like fighting your way through that. And yeah, it's just a thing. So, but I don't want to be disrespectful. A gentleman left some comments on that video I did talking about I was 100% in the wrong. Get it. I am wrong running in the bike lane because it is a bike lane. I take the risk. I do it, and my expectation is that I'm not wanting cyclists to bend to my will or command. My only observation with running in the bike lane and running where there's cyclists are aggressive here. that's all I'm observing is they're aggressive. They're rude. I'll run with my kids in the bob stroller that I have, and a cyclist blew through a stop sign, almost plowed into me, and my 5-year-old, he wasn't 5 at the time, he was like 2, almost plowed into us, and he literally stopped and chewed my ass out, cussed me out in front of my son, and he's the one who blew through the stop sign. We were already crossing the path, and he just blew right through the stop sign and almost plowed into us. So it's just things like that. There was another cyclist that had a flat tire that was on the side of the road, and he looked beat. Like he must have been cycling for a long time. I was concerned because he was just laying there. I ran up to him because I was running. I was like, hey man, you good? He's like, yeah, do I look good? He's like, keep the fuck moving. And he was like cussing me out because I just asked if he was okay. And I'm like, holy cow, man. So it's been that type of what I've observed here so far running on the streets of Arizona. Like cyclists are very, very aggressive. And I wasn't trying to, my expectations wasn't to like expect the cyclists to bend to my will and get out of my way. Like, just don't be aggressive. Don't be angry. Like, do you need a hug, man? Like, I will give you a hug. Like, I don't want any beef with you. None of the cyclists, I want any beef with any of that. I'm not trying to cause division and any of that. But I guess if I were to look at the video I posted, it kind of made it seem that way. So I apologize for anybody who took offense to it. I wasn't trying to be, I just thought it was funny. And that's the reason why I did that clip that way. And to put it out there that my experience with cyclists have been very angry and aggressive. So, and that's the truth. That's all I'm putting out there. Yeah. All right. Well, my cam's about to die, so I think I've been on here long enough, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry for all the technical difficulties that I had. I don't know why. I had audio issues earlier. I had it go dark on me, so sorry about that. Yeah. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hopping in the chat, blowing up the chat. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, being huge supporters. I greatly appreciate you. Sorry for all the rants about weird stuff. So thank you guys so much. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and catch you guys on